What has it been like to perform DJ sessions for some of the biggest clients in the world? Because I know you've done Ferrari, you've done. It's just slipped my head, but what's it like? Yeah, perfect timing, I know. But what's it like to perform for the biggest client, some of the biggest brands in the world?
It's 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 pretty amazing. It's funny because when I first started getting bigger and bigger and bigger gigs, I used to get so nervous. Like I would be like, because you know, people's tastes are also different, and you walk into it's funny when I first started, it's like you would have like a clear idea of what you were gonna play, but then you walk into the room and you feel the energy and you're like, oh, I gotta transition and go into this whole different kind of playlist that I wasn't planning on playing because the energy is different in the room, or like it's just a different vibe. Um, but what I realized is, you you I have so much music and I have to trust that I know what I'm doing and that like, I've been doing this for so long and you kind of trust your intuition and you just go in there and you be as prepared as possible. That's a big thing too. Is like I used to get so nervous, but I'm like, as long as I come in super, super prepared and ready for this and then do my best, that's all I can do. And it's been really fun since then because it's always like you get thrown these curveballs, but that's what makes it exciting, and I think that goes back to me being a dancer and being in the arts my whole life. It's like, sometimes things go wrong, but it's like how you transition and how you do that. The show must go on always, So it's like, and it's almost like a puzzle with music because I'm like, oh, okay, like where are we going to go with this? Like, what is this journey going to be for this event? And I love it, and I love a lot of old music too. So a lot of I play a lot of classics at those events, but like cool remixes of it. And I always it's a lot of fun and it's really exciting. It's exciting to work with huge brands like that and get to be a part of an event like that.
How do you end up working with big brands in them? Because do they contact the agent? Do they contact you directly, or is it through like a referral? Because I'm just curious because I've seen other people who've worked for big brands. I'm thinking, and I've always thought, how does that work? Because yeah,
It's a little bit of both. It's interesting. So I work with agents. So I have quite a few agents and some talent buyers as well. So some of those people have just found me online, and I'm like, how are these people finding me? Like people from the East Coast. Like I'm like, how did you find me? I don't really know. Like I'm like, this is really interesting. So sometimes it's that, sometimes it's referrals. A lot of times it's with my agents. Like they'll get the brand reaches out to the agency, and usually it's not even the brand, it's an event company that is throwing the event for the brand. So it's like an event production company gets the brand as a client, and then the event production company reaches out to the agents and was like, we need someone who can play this and this, and then they pitch a few different people and they're like, oh, we will go with her. So that's kind of how it is, but sometimes I get like a random DM on Instagram or like, so it kind of it's a little bit of both ways.
I suppose it keeps you on your toes as well because I think I think it'd be fair to say it gets rid of the predictability. It's like, oh, this I don't know. Let's say Ford comes to you one day and they say, "Oh, now they've gone through my agent. Now it's gone through this." Yeah, it gets to play for them, but this is the same as Ferrari and everyone else, as opposed to maybe you get I don't know their HR officer or something who come to you and say, "Hey, ShanLynn, would you like to play our Ford event for our new car launch?"
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I think it's fair to say that it keeps your work kind of engaging as well for you, so it's a little bit
Yeah,
the mundane side of things.
totally. No, that makes it definitely it's fun because it is so different. And it's funny you said that because one time I did do an event for Ford, but it was it ended up being more for Ford from Australia, like the team from Australia, so that they were like requesting like Australian music. And I'm just like, so that's what I mean. You have to be versatile. Like, there's been events like, oh gosh, during the whole like live stream world and COVID, I did this live stream event and like I have somebody, it was a huge, huge company I was working with. I can't say who. And this lady in the middle of the live stream is like, "Can you play this Chinese song?" And I'm like messaging the talent buyer girl lady who hired me. And I'm like, "Wants me to play this song?" And she's like, "Yes, she's the CEO. Play whatever she wants." And you're like downloading the song in the middle of in the middle of a live stream. That's what I mean. It's like you kind of have to be extremely versatile. You have to be quick on your feet. You can't, I think that's what's made me really successful too, is I try to treat everyone the same. Like I treat people how I want to be treated. So I'm not gonna just be like, no requests. Like, I don't know like who this lady is. And I'm like, I'm glad I'm like very, I'll play whatever she wants to play, because you never know who's requesting these music at these kind of events. And then you're like, oh, I hope for the best as I drop this interesting Chinese song I've never heard in my entire life for thousands of people all over the world watching this live stream. Like, so that's kind of, yeah, it keeps my life very interesting. I'll say that.